Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort. Code. Drip. Snort, snort. I got the drip. Go.
Gundam, you there, bro?
I can't hear a fucking thing. All I hear is Phil. What the fuck?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, buddy. You're hearing voices of Phil in your head? You're kind of like me when I was having to DM with Phil every night at 4 a.m., his gin-soaked crying. Eventually, I started hearing the voice of Phil all the time. I was fucking losing it.
Let me just do this. Don't worry. You'll type in there for him to switch his voice. He doesn't do this very often, so don't worry.
He doesn't make that many guest appearances, but
We're
don't
the
worry.
special ones. Let me go and...
What a thing to say. We're the special ones.
All right.
We're special, all right, Andy.
Yeah.
Real special.
Oh, yeah. Me especially. All right, let's get me here. Don't worry. Take your time, bro.
By the way, we had the hate for $10.
Beautiful.
Using a cancer scare to make money for RGB lights instead of just getting a job is the height of F-slurry.
Whoa.
Indeed. The guy's lying about his wife having cancer
It's
in
demented.
order to try and swindle money for lights. Holy. Then we got JB the Behemoth for $7.76. I sent an old clip to your Twitter DMs of Blackbuster Critic doing his best DSP impersonation.
Stop.
Add that to the list. That's Kino. I gotta see that shit. And then Ice for $8. Is Gundam really black? And if he is, could we get confirmation on if he has an afro? And where's the little
Okay, what's going on?
Well, that might have to be the first question in order to be allowed on this podcast. Are you black, Gundam?
Don't worry. Just speak that while I'm...
Well, we'll sweep that away. Don't worry. We'll sweep that up.
Sweeping it.
Mr. Homeless for $10. What's the background on the Happy Days mashup in the intro? It's been nagging me with curiosity. Well, there was this guy named Tonka Saw, and he was the master of dead air. And this guy, I'll just quickly give an introduction to Tonka. Tonka was an internet tough guy. He was of the Donga tribe. Fight me, IRL. I'm 111-0. I think that's what he claimed. He was 111-0 in street fights. And he was a pro wrestler. Anyway, it turned out the guy was actually in a wheelchair and he had AIDS. And so he agreed to box Andy or fight Andy in MMA, but he was in a wheelchair.
And he wasn't able to get his AIDS test?
Yeah, he wasn't able to get his AIDS test. Well, he had to pass the blood test to fight. But the thing is, he couldn't pass the blood test because he had AIDS. So what actually ended up happening was that he didn't show up for the fight. Andy did and walked to the cage and was declared the winner. And then Donga left the internet forever in shame because he lived in a wheelchair in a trailer park and had AIDS. And was a total disgrace.
What a story.
And so
like, new people are like, what? This whole video, Donnie Pesos did a 1-hour video on the whole situation.
He's crippled.
All right, Gundam, do you hear us? No?
I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm live. Oh my god.
Go. It's all good, man. Discord always changes settings. It's really annoying. How you doing, Gundam?
Oh.
Well, a few days ago, I said some things that upset the trans community, and I've been in trouble ever since.
Oh,
But
no.
you just said anything? Like, listen, it's not very hard to upset the trans community, Gundam. So did you say the sky is blue? Did you
No,
say
I
men
said
can't be women?
Well, we all know the answer to that question. I don't know why you would ask such a loaded thing.
What did you say? What did
I
you
said
say?
there was only two genders. I
Oh,
agreed with the
buddy.
president.
No,
That's it.
buddy.
You were telling me in DMs, you're like, let's go. We have you on
Oh,
cam. Let's go.
We finally
Yes.
reached the VTuber arc edition of the
Yeah.
Casino
I
Hut.
wanted to make us VTubers too, but we didn't have time, to be honest. That's what
Well, there's no
VTuber.
program that can make a person as fat as me into a VTuber. So, as far as I know, the technology doesn't exist to make a person as fat as I am into a VTube avatar. But once it advances, to account for my obesity, then it might happen. All right, buddy. Let's
Oh,
let's
we
get
got a
into
lot
this.
today,
So,
bro.
Gundam, we're talking about Darksydephil. How did you first come upon Phil? How did you first start making videos about Phil? What captured your interest? Let's go into it.
Yeah.
I think I was like everyone. That beautiful day on the May 1st burst, I believe they call it, where Phil was beating off profusely onto his stream, and then when he finishes, he does this. He shakes it off like a bison in the rain. It was a pivotal moment in my tractosphere.
It's funny, the first time you ever seen him, he was jacking off. That's crazy.
I had to know what the fuss was about, and he didn't disappoint.
There it is in chat.
So-
It's a sticker.
So, was it shortly after that then you started making videos about him, or when did you start making videos about Phil?
It's a good question. I've been ripping on Phil so long, I've lost track of time. I'm probably coming up on my 10-year anniversary.
Whoa, let's
In
go.
honor, I'm having DoorDash with Phil.
Are you also eating DoorDash? Did you get the British cuisine like Phil?
Well, I heard that we were going to hit the tips goal, and I figured the chat wanted to hear me eat with Phil.
Oh, wait.
Oh, that's right.
Wait.
Everybody wants to hear you eat into your mic.
No, Gundam.
Are you
So
gonna eat
where's
the
this?
corn the long ways like Phil? Maybe we'll roast you eating the food like Phil begged us to do. This guy has caused ideas for content. He's like, please watch me eat food and roast me. And then he would send an entire 3-hour video without any timestamps and expect us to find the part where he was eating to make fun of him.
45
I love
minutes.
Phil.
Good.
That's why he's the greatest.
But it really is. He's just such a piece of
Well,
shit.
You need the full context of when I got the meal, when I unboxed it, when I ate it. Oh my god, it was a culinary masterpiece.
But it's not fair because you're eating DoorDash, but Phil has not reached the goal to eat DoorDash and has canceled it. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that. He actually did fake hitting the goal today.
Oh, he faked it.
What happened is DoorDash is so sick of his shit that 3 separate DoorDashers canceled Phil's order.
No.
Because he didn't tip enough.
Phil, never change. You're the greatest.
That's even worst.
And so Phil was so seething that his DoorDash order got canceled. He got on the phone and started freaking out at the restaurant about why his order was canceled.
Did that happen today?
Yes, this has
We
happened
got
today.
stuff today, bro.
This
We
was
got
just
new
today.
stuff too.
Phil had like a half-hour meltdown today about Kino Casino, the detractors,
Let's go.
you, like everybody. And it was just this crazy, like he just broke. And at the end of his entire half-hour begging sesh where he was like blaming everybody else for his problems, he made a grand total of $2.
No.
$2 super chat after 30 straight minutes of unhinged ranting.
Ashton, I am sorry, but you should be ashamed of yourself. How can you afford Cat's chemo now?
Okay,
Oh, God.
this is the thing,
Where
right?
do you start?
It's like what do you do when somebody just starts unloading on you that their wife is dying, that she's really sick, and you working with them has allowed for that person to pay for her medical treatments? So if you stop working with said person because they're like a total freeloader bum, you're basically condemning his wife to die. And
You're
then
like an angel.
I know,
Little
right?
wings.
I know. I was like a cherub angel in this whole thing. Apparently now I'm like the perfect, good, and wonderful person.
You are
and Phil
fucking
is the
Lucifer
devil.
now.
Because this motherfucker then claims now that in fact it was all his master plan to use us and rob us, and
You
that
just got caught.
and he lied about his wife having cancer. He lied about his rabbit dying.
His parents
His
were on their deathbed.
His parents are on their deathbed now for the 7th straight year, and so therefore I should ease up on making fun of him on Grill Phil.
Phil's
His
parents are always dying.
That's
Yeah,
the
Just
thing.
keep eating death.
Like, this isn't the first time we've heard that they're dying, Phil. Like, holy buddy.
You guy?
But
But then he's like, listen, guys, please take pity on me. My parents are dying. My Bugs Bunny is dead. My wife has cancer and she's fat and she has a thyroid problem and And it's
Oh,
like,
make it through the
listen,
night. If you don't see me get
Holy-
Rusty shirtless right now.
I was there.
no
And
joke.
he went-
Condom, we're not exaggerating. There was a call where Ashton, and then Ashton, you know how he is, right? He's like,
Yeah.
Jaworski, you gonna do it, bud? I'm like, stop.
Rusty, oil up your chest, buddy.
Andy, you gonna show him your abs there, bud?
He's in
I'm like,
the chit
shut
chat.
the fuck
He's
up.
asking to see your shredded body.
Cat's down the stairs crying, Andy.
This is the thing is, like, can you imagine? You know, because I think you do like a live stream show, Gundam, where you
Oh, I
have
do it
guests
very
and
bad.
co-hosts.
No, it's great. I watched it.
Can you imagine if one day one of the co-hosts messaged you and said, and they're a guy in their 40s that looks like Phil, and they said to you, I have a great idea for content. What if I show my socks, my
What?
underwear, and my feet?
What?
And he just messaged me one day, and he's like, I have this really good idea.
Wait, that was his idea?
Yes, it was all his
No
idea.
idea.
No, and then I just, because nobody is demented enough to come up with this other than Phil. Like, yes, sire. Yes, king. This is a brilliant idea, king.
These are the best ideas I've ever heard.
I'm so blown away by your creativity, sire.
My liege, you are too great.
And this guy, and the whole time he started doing this on live stream, like he was fired up because I actually think he's gay. I actually think he was gay for me. He was like blushing. He would go beet red and he would start pulling his underwear up to show the audience his underwear. And
Oh,
like, taking his pants down. You didn't see any of this on Grill Phil Gundam. He would slowly take his pants down and reveal to everybody his underwear.
God in
And he-
heaven.
And he was telling me that all of his underwear was filthy and old and had
Ew.
holes in it. And he's like, should I show them my underwear with the holes in it? I'm like, yes, sire. This is brilliant content, King.
This
Get
is
the
highly
underwear with
curated,
the
Phil.
holes in it and the skid marks. This is meaningful content.
Like-
That's positive, Phil.
This is insane. I saw the Grill Phil where you had him showing off his body. He's doing this little dance where he's on his toes and kicking
Yes,
his feet.
bro. He walks on his tippy toes. It's fucking crazy.
This man is an absolute animal. And the funny thing is, you think nobody wants to see Phil's feet, but when I was looking up DSP's roided out legs to show to someone online, like the calves,
That was
he's-
part of
he's
my
ugly.
idea. We'll get to that DM where I encouraged him to keep doing it, and he kept doing it for like a week where he kept showing his calves. And
no, he wants to show little legs.
I told him he was Calfzilla, and everybody was fucking jealous of his shredded body.
No,
And seriously, he believed it. He believed it.
the avatar can't keep up with my facial expressions. What are you doing?
He really did. He thought he was
I didn't even know this.
Calfzilla.
No,
and
I'm
then
learning this stuff too.
I said to him, you need to be like the wrestler Rick Rude, and he
Oh
like,
my
don't,
God.
don't know what that is. But I said,
Rick Rude is the same breed of human as Phil.
yeah, Rick Rude is this really jacked wrestler from the 80s.
Ravishing Darksydephil.
And yeah, it was ravishing Rick Rude, ravishing Phil. And what Rick Rude would do is show off his abs, and he would be like, now this is what the ladies came to see and the men want to be. And this is ravishing Rick Rude. And I told Phil to do that routine with his calves, and he did it.
I love
he did it.
You've been manipulating this motherfucker like a pedo. You're like a you're
Oh,
a wicked
fuck.
pedo. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
That was your
man.
puppet.
The thing is, he basically is Pinocchio, except his nose doesn't grow when he lies, or else he would be in fucking Seattle by now.
It'll
Can
be
you
across the
imagine
world.
how long yeah, it would have wrapped around the world about 8 times by now,
We
right?
use it to safeguard the border.
Oh, man.
my
No,
God.
Phil has the wiki feet. Believe it or
Does
not.
he actually have a wiki feet? What's the rating?
I don't know. I was looking up his calf muscles and I found it.
The wiki feet? I didn't even know that.
Andy, pull it up.
Okay, we're doing the
I
wiki.
can't, I'm
Pull up
on-
his wiki
I've
feet.
never been on wiki.
What a disaster! But
Wiki
this
feet.
guy, he started buying different pairs of socks. So first of all, Gundam,
Stop.
we convinced him to set up a dedicated foot cam. So he went out
Stop, this
and
is
spent, I think, $500 on a new
Oh.
camera that was dedicated exclusively to his feet.
This
And
man
then,
is an animal.
and then he went out and bought a whole bunch of socks that he had labeled left foot and right
Oh.
foot. And then I'm not kidding. And then he bought a bunch of underwear that had the days of the week to wear them
Days
written
of
on
the
them.
week?
No, he
Yes.
didn't. You're
No,
lying.
he did, and he showed them off. He's like, "This is the Wednesday pair." I'm like, "Go get the Thursday pair, Phil." He would go get the Thursday. Who showed
Show
the
him your
Thursday?
autism.
No,
Quickly.
it seriously was. It was fucking amazing. He had no idea. He had no idea that he was being made fun of. He thought people really wanted to see his underwear. and
Cass
his
doesn't even want
socks
to see his underwear.
and his dedicated fucking foot cam. I got him to do the push-ups. He managed to do one push-up.
That wasn't even a full push-up.
No, it wasn't. He just humped the ground. He got this guy to get down on his hands and knees like an animal and hump the ground.
Okay, I'm just
You
making
got
a
get
watch.
this.
Man.
Making a watch
Oh,
OBS scene here. I saw the push-up thing. I didn't even know half this shit. Like, it's been hard to keep up. Gundam, like, Ashton really
He
kept
got
up
it-
the charade way
how
longer.
did he get a 3-star rating?
It's too high.
I shudder to think what a 1-star rating is. Like, whoa, buddy.
Okay, so let's see the pictures. Okay, here's the first one.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Oh my god.
Cass Dillon right
Oh,
there.
this is Cass. Oh my god.
What a muscle mod.
Wait, look at this setup. This desk. What, it's a TV tray? What the fuck?
He's miles away from
I'm
the screen.
so glad, by the way, the casino arc purchased this angle. So don't worry, guys. It didn't get wasted.
Ashton.
He used all the money he made from this arc to buy these cameras to give us these different insane angles. He looks like he's at. You remember when Joe Biden had like the pretend desk, the
Yes.
pretend setup in the White House? That's kind of what it
Pretend
looks like.
streamer.
The kitty desk. Yeah, he's the pretend streamer.
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Let's see the
man.
first- Ashton, I didn't even know. Because after I spoke to It'sAGundam, and then that fell through, we're like, nah. And then all these other ideas, nah. I was done with him. Ashton was like, Andy, I'm going to keep trying. Don't worry.
It's gonna be
I'll
a
make
long
something.
con.
I swear to you, I'll make something out of this.
Somehow,
Ashton finally got to be Vince McMahon.
yeah, I did. Oh my god, he's doing all this thing.
What the
Calves.
fuck?
Somehow, I
That's
knew him that
demented.
this was a good idea, and he was gonna make
He
it like
believed
his
every
full-time
word.
gimmick. He really thought that this was the best thing he could do.
Is that real?
The trolls are losing their minds. He really thought he mind broke the trolls with this, and that he was controlling the narrative, and that he won. This was what Phil really believed.
That was
It
the wildest part of it all, is the fact that Phil thought he was winning. Everywhere he went. You don't understand. People like me now. And now that everyone has turned their eyes to me, the internet loves me, I'm going to get some payback. And he goes after Craig in the most ridiculous way possible. Everyone.
Oh my
He's calling me a pussy on the regular.
And I gassed him up so hard after the Craig thing. It was, I'm like, you clearly won, King.
You
showed
felt him, my liege.
You felt it in my leash. And he's like, yeah. I think people are going to stop messing with me now. You know, like,
Meanwhile, Ashton, every DM I had was like, what the fuck is Phil doing? Is he retarded, Andy? He just blew everything up. And I'm just like, yeah, oh, no, he's
every one of these interviews he did, I would like gas him up about why it was such a good idea to do them. And then he would do them. And it would be a total disaster. And then I would tell him how
Yeah, they
he
were
won.
brilliant.
How he won, how Craig was humiliated and destroyed. Meanwhile, Phil hung up the call. But I actually brainwashed, and this is like Phil wants to be brainwashed by himself.
He needs to believe the lie.
Yes, I convinced Phil that Craig actually hung up on him. And he believed that shit. He believed that Craig actually hung up on him. Even though
No.
he booted Craig from the call. This is the sort of shit that he would believe.
This is raw
Oh,
insanity.
This is
man.
the longest con, dude.
Is there any picture proof of this conversation or a video?
Yeah, we got all sorts
we have
of
all
DMs.
sorts of
We got
it.
all sorts of DMs to go through. I guess we're just going to start off with it's not really funny, except in the sense that it shows just what a psychopath, like liar and
Oh my-
manipulator
oh my
that Phil
God.
is. This is just a small assortment of
The
the
sick
DMs.
stuff.
We'll go into the sick stuff folder.
No?
Because I
Oh.
think this is the real headline of all
Oh,
this
the
stuff.
sick stuff.
I gotta
Okay.
say, the moment I knew Phil was truly crazy is when Andy blew up when you guys finally dropped the act. I've known Andy for years. He's one of the most laid-back guys I've ever spoken to. Yeah, well, you know, dude, it'll be cool. Whatever. Andy is like seething. He's frothing at the mouth. He's like, this mongoloid retard. I'm like, Andy's pissed. I've never seen it before. Thank God nobody was there for Gun. Phil would have been shot.
No, but Ashton's telling Phil, he's like, you're gonna ruin Gundam. He's been calling you out, and then you're like, okay, Phil has agreed to do the It's a Gundam interview. I'm like, I haven't even asked him yet. And then I'm like, Gundam. You're like, no, I haven't even researched. I don't have time for Phil. I don't want to make him money. I'm like,
I didn't
fine,
want to help Phil in any way.
which is respectable. And I understand
he was
why now.
shitting on me.
Yeah, the more I learn, yeah, exactly, because he was gassed up. Because
He was going after me right after like the side scroller arc ended. Side scrollers ends. Phil like puts on his Nazi cap. He scares the shit out of Blabs.
I have that
Which
clip, by
might
the
be Jewish. I don't know. And then when like the internet turns on him, he starts going on. Craig loves It'sAGundam. He kicking enough of It'sAGundam.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
fucking clown. Yucko. And I'm like, I didn't do anything, Phil. They just asked me to sit a question. I didn't even want to do it. What are you mad at me for, Phil?
So I just want to put some context on this.
Okay.
So I'm on vacation, okay? Like I'm trying to enjoy my
Oh, I'm
vacation.
sorry. That's your first mistake. Your vacation doesn't matter. Only Phil's day
Yes,
off matters.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we'll
we
get,
have
we'll
that.
get
Yeah.
into that later on, where I messaged Phil about this really good opportunity to like cross over with LolCow and stuff, but it was on his precious day off. So that was my mistake, thinking I could DM him on his day off, and boy, did he tell me. So I'm on vacation, right? I'm trying
Yes.
to enjoy my time on a tropical island. Andy's trying to enjoy his time on a tropical
Oh,
island.
beautiful.
And he goes, man, I hope you have a great vacation, but I just got some terrible news that's related directly to what we were talking about regarding travel. So it's like, I'm on vacation. I go, what happened with travel, Phil? Well, please do not share this info, which I never actually did, by the way. Phil leaked all of this. Phil leaked all of these DMs in order to claim that he was master trolling us and that these were all lies meant to manipulate us, by the way.
How does it feel to be fooled by the mastermind?
The master, the king snake, as it were.
How you have sympathy.
But
Look out this snake and pull it out legs.
imagine you're on the beach in Jamaica and you get this DM. Yesterday, I spoke with my parents and my mom is on her last legs health-wise, with doctors giving her less than a year to live. She basically begged me to find time to travel back to Connecticut by the end of the year so we could spend time together one last time. But that stupid fucking Real ID shit I told you about goes into effect May 7th. I looked into it, and all of our licensing departments are on a massive backlog because everyone is rushing to get this before that date. I'm going to call them tomorrow because they will finally be open after the weekend.
What the fuck?
But chances are, my wife and I are now going to take a completely unplanned/unscheduled trip to Connecticut likely in late April. That also means finding a way to have our pets taken care of, so we'll likely have to pay top dollar for a highly rated pet sitter because we have 4 and they all need daily care. So all of this just dumped on us yesterday, and it looks like our next couple months are going to be incredibly stressful, and that's even if my mom's health holds out. So yeah, this fucking sucks.
You were trolled, Ashton.
Ashton, I hope you're having a good time, but my mom may be very sick.
What the fuck?
Could you take time out of your day to think about me?
And it's like, not only that, but it's like you're telling me all this stuff about how you can't get a real ID because you don't have a passport. Because
That doesn't make sense. You just get real idea going to the DMV.
I honestly have no idea. This guy is so incompetent. He doesn't even know how to get a passport.
Yeah, you gotta go
get a
to
real
the post
ID.
office.
And it's,
So it's not
this
hard.
is very
We're not
obvious.
American.
Like,
It's not hard,
so-
right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's
You go to the post
crazy.
office, you fill out some papers, a Latin woman looks like she wants to spit in your face, they take an ugly photo of you, you're done.
But he takes his problems and then he makes them my problems.
They are your problems.
So where it's like, are you asking me how to walk you through the process on how to get a real ID or passport? Like, I can't file the paperwork for you, sir. And it's like this whole talk about an unplanned, unscheduled trip. Like, this trip is supposed to be in late April, and this is in February. Like, most people would consider 2 months' notice to be enough to plan a trip.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are people who take trips all the time, but this is just a glimpse of the mental illness and insanity that would be dumped on my desk from time to time with Phil. And it's what this is also is it's pretty obvious to me this was manipulation because this is after we did the Stephen Cambion Truth Seekers interview.
Yeah, we
and so
insulted him, yeah.
because of that, he wanted me to feel bad for him, not press him anymore, not grill him on Grill Phil, and so he would dump this shit on my fucking. It's just fucking wild.
Wait, Ashton, by the way, you were trolled here. Look how mean Ashton is. Fuck, Phil. That's horrible news. I would never tell anybody. I can't really. Oh, you're
By
so
the way,
empathy.
I actually give him good advice. I go,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have ignored all these messages if I was on the beach.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really should have. But
You basically adopted a cat that was riddled with gout. You brought it into your home, you nurtured it, and it would piss on your fucking couch and
no,
everything.
it really would. And then it would be entitled and be like, well, you didn't clean it up good enough, bud. You know, it's like, fuck, but I'm trying to tell this 43-year-old man that he should push to get his passport. If he just had his passport, he wouldn't have these problems. Anyway, that's just one instance.
The real ID you can get without a passport, though.
Which he now claims, by the way, that this was all lies. You know, it's like,
horrible.
and he lied about his mother being sick. Okay,
Look at
so
this
this is
guy.
why. So recently, Darksydephil had 2 shows where he didn't beg, where the whole world was like,
Yeah, I saw those shows. I thought we were gonna die. Like an asteroid
it's
was headed
like,
towards
what
Earth.
is actually going to happen? Has hell frozen over? What's going on? So
Dogs and
Darksydephil
cats are living together. It's complete anarchy.
is telling me the reason why this is happening is because of his rabbit. He
Oh,
says,
Mr.
hold
Jingle
on,
Belly.
taking my rabbit to the vet first thing in the morning, and looks like I might have to put him down. It just gets worse and worse when you get old. Now, I didn't ask to be told this, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm so sorry. What else are you going to say
Fuck, that's
to that,
horrible.
right?
I'm so sorry, man.
You know, he goes, I took him to emergency care today. They don't know what's causing him to be so sick. X-ray results won't be in until Monday, and we have to manually syringe feed him multiple medicines and liquid food tons of times a day. It takes the both of us to do it because he's terrified and won't just let you feed him. One has to hold him.
How
while
does he have the
uses
strength?
the syringe. I don't know.
This is horrible.
I don't know.
Wait, if
Like the
he's
rat is
not-
dying, but has the strength to resist 2 humans that are grossly overweight. No offense.
I just don't want to listen. The people with calories are in it together.
Ash, if this is true, that's sad. But if he's lying about this, which he is, this is twisted. This is like serial killer level of like.
If none of this ever happened and he's just, as he claims, fabricating this out of thin air in order to manipulate us for money,
Then he's one of the greatest liars of all time.
isn't this insane? Isn't this mental illness and sickness to lie about
He
this?
walked on his toes.
I know.
Oh my
I
God.
know.
Hey, miracle dream. You know the answer to this.
Wait, he told his mods too, which means he's lying to his own mods about things dying in his life.
Well, they got to
Or
give him
he's
money.
lying to me and he never told his mods, or this is his way of milking the mods for extra cash.
Ooh.
But, you know,
For
this
just
party
a
was
few
right.
cents a day,
My
he could support
detractors
Darksydephil.
would find a way to turn it into a joke, which they did. But that, you know, he goes, but imagine if I told them about Kat being sick last year, us worried about cancer. Like, and it's like, whoa, man, like your wife has cancer? Like, holy shit. But so here he goes. He goes, things are really fucked. I have to put my rabbit down tomorrow. We've been syringe feeding him all week. He's about to die. I've been doing this all the while behind the scenes. Can we delay the show until Thursday? I say, oh, it's no problem. Like, you know, Thursday is going to be best for me too. He says, I'm not even kidding. We are barely holding it together.
Oh my God.
I broke down today. midday and somehow composed myself to play shitty Five Nights at Freddy's. How he found the strength. I somehow composed myself to play Five Nights at Freddy's for money.
It's DSP Schindler's List, but it's a rabbit instead of Jewish people.
He goes, he's paralyzed now. It's his time. I put in a voicemail at the vet. Last thing I want to do is watch Raw right now.
Because he was lazy?
So if only you could send me a photo of Andy, I might feel a little better.
He goes, I know, I went through this 2 years ago as well with some small animals and figured it would be different. But now our rabbit is going to go so fast. It's not fair, but it's life. We can't have children. Go to the next slide.
There you go.
We can't have children, so we love having animals and their family to us.
What if you can't have children?
We find out why they can't have children. So if you actually go out of there...
Oh, 1 second.
And then the next thing he lays on me, he's saying that the rabbit is the replacement for his son.
Right.
And that's why he was so devastated. He couldn't even beg. He couldn't even do his pre-stream that day during the Five Nights at Freddy's marathon.
That's how you know he loved that rabbit. But DSP doesn't have the strength to beg.
So I told Phil, by the way, that I wanted him to embrace being the piece of shit that he was. That I wanted Darksydephil to just embrace being the nasty, obnoxious, horrible, begging slob that he is, and that he should lean into it and be what's called in wrestling a heel character.
So you wanted him to be the Mr. Burnell.
Yes, I wanted him to stop like neutering himself and just go off and be wild. Right?
He is well. Everybody already hates him.
So how he told me this, and this was fairly early on, this was his excuse for why he couldn't become that heel character. So he says, my wife is sick and has been all year, and she's not getting better. He says, not cancer here, but later on he'll tell me he suspects it is cancer. But she has multiple things going on, and this year has been hell for us. I've lied a lot to my audience. Well, that's not surprising, Phil, about it because it's nobody's business. We did some stuff on stream earlier this year, but then things got way worse. She may need major surgery, and we are pretty scared and hoping for the best. You are the only person I've told about this, so there's no one else in his life that he can confide this information to. No friends, no family, nobody. I'm the only person.
Because, like, Kat's life was ruined when she got too close to Phil. But like I've said before, the man is a giant Sonichu medallion. You just get too close, your life just falls to pieces. You develop some form of cancer. You can't have kids. Your rabbit's dying. Andy Worski's no longer chill.
But he made me snap, dude.
And then he tries to say she has found religion again this year as a result of all this going on. It's really rough for me because I used to be religious in my life, and then I changed. I'm supporting her through it, and we are really hoping that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I think there is, and then out of nowhere, I'm doing stuff with you guys, and things are going well, and we're making extra money. And now we're going to be able to see a different doctor on Wednesday of this week because we can afford it. But I think you can now kind of figure out why I cannot become the big heel of the internet right now. So this guy, like, it's basically, if I stopped working with him, his wife could no longer afford medical treatment. This is what this guy is laying on me, man. Like, holy fucking shit.
Lied about cancer, and he was bashing Boogie for the same thing. Oh, cancer. Well, now.
But none of this even makes sense. Like, just say that you're, like, afraid of the detractors giving you extra criticism, and that's why you can't be over the top with your persona and be interesting. Just tell me you don't want to do it if that's the case. If this is a lie. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I'm not...
There has to be some truth in this, because a lot of what Phil does is based on some measure of truth, like a grain of it.
Yeah.
Because I recall him doing a couple streams talking about, you got to see the doctors, and I'm not getting into it, yada, yada, yada. That poor girl just needs a diet. Then you can have a kid.
Well, you know what?
Well, so we're going to get into the cults. We're going to get into the cults of why dieting doesn't work.
I'm always ready for a chubby girl.
We saw a clip, right, where he actually explained how to lie. In Gundam, he literally said that you start with the truth, and then you build the lie around it. So it all makes sense, right?
He's like George Costanza from Seinfeld, but he doesn't have Jerry, Kramer, and Elaine to keep him in line.
I say he's like his father, the devil, the prince of lies, and that he does his father's business.
Okay. Power.
So, you know, Phil here is trying to say to me, he's like, we're just trying to figure out if I can take an extra day off like 2 times a month so we can do more stuff together. And it's actually looking good. So I think we might start doing that in November.
Okay.
And I told Phil he should take the time off if he can, because 6 days a week is too much. People can't miss you if you never go away. You do a lot of hours. Like, imagine if your wife is dying and you don't know how much time you might have with her. This is the person that you love the most in the entire world. And for the sake of trying to squeeze a few extra pennies, you take no time out of the week to be with her. And I'm just trying to give this guy good advice. Like, holy fuck, man. At a certain point, your time is being wasted. Like, you would make just as much money going 5 days of the week as 6, Phil. Because he's not getting really paid for those hours. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's getting consistent donations. Most of it's just waste. You know, here he goes saying, I told her that if things kept going as well as it did in August when I got that huge boost from working with you guys, we could do more stuff and spend more time together. And at first, she actually got angry with me because she was like, don't get our hopes up over something that will never happen.
That doesn't sound very religious. The correct answer should have been praise be.
The Lord brought
Miracle, Phil.
PPP into our life, and now we're making this money, and I can afford medical care. And
I can't wait for us to go outside and walk around the block, Philip. Don't worry, Cat. The day off is coming.
Jesus.
But now he
can't
goes,
believe
but
he said
now, over September, stuff definitely dropped a bunch without you guys to do collabs with. You see where this is going? So it's like, my wife, she's really sick, but, you know, she has hope now. We might be able to spend more time together.
It's like
with
Make-A-Wish commercials.
Yes, but now things are drying up because you guys aren't doing collabs with me. So will you please do a collab with me? So
Okay,
that
now I see
I
where
can-
it's going.
Do you see what I'm
Only
saying?
5 subs a day. You
do
can
you see?
feed a fat wife.
You can
This
save
is-
Darksydephil.
This is actually so fucked. And he's telling me, by the way, that now that these are all lies, that every single part of this was just a lie and a manipulation tactic. He
Wait,
says,
Ashton,
So
sorry.
then Cat most likely just has diabetes and it's turned into cancer.
Yeah.
we have a bunch of subs.
Hey,
Is
no,
that what
no,
you wanted to chat?
Midnight stream for 22 subs. Thank you.
Huge!
One movie, one for 5 subs. A DSP Historical Society, sure, for 10 subs. A Kool-Aid Merchant of Philtown for 10 subs. DSP Accessibility Neck Headphones for 5 subs. And Bolt Action Loser for 10 subs. And I'm like 100 new followers. Let's go. Thank you.
As a reward, I'll have more
Casino for 5
DoorDash.
subs.
Let's go.
Mr. Quasser Hopper for 5 subs. DoorDash Killing Fat Wife Sad for 5.
Whoa.
Strong Like Bull for 5. I'm just making sure I got all of them. No Bomb
Yeah.
Bandy for 5 subs.
Uh-oh.
Mountains of Sneed for a sub. Lazy Titan for 5 subs.
We
And
read
then there
the
we go.
ones. Yeah,
Midnight.
we're
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We got them. Let's get some more
So,
subs.
Gundam, what do you think so far? Is this more than you thought, that how insane he was? I mean, we all know he was a loser, begging, this, that, the other. Did you expect this type of level of sickness, or is this shocking you?
DSP is far more powerful than I ever perceived. Like some sort of dark god from Warhammer. I can't even process the level of lies. It's almost masterful. This is so insane that even he is living the lie.
Yeah.
Well, he
There's so
says,
little money.
he says, by the way, I am so open to new stuff as long as it's not constant drama. Which it's like, Phil, like, we're a drama show. Like, what do you think we're going to be doing? Or
And then Phil
making
tells
me,
you he wants to
or
jump
making
Russell
me a
Candy.
villain. Or making me a villain. It's like, Phil, you are a villain. You will always be a villain. There's nothing I can do to change your perception as a villain because you are just an evil piece of shit.
Makes him such a villain. He sees himself as a hero. He's
Yes.
a powerless homelander.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Oh. So he goes, because of what I told you about my wife's health earlier this year, by the way, she seems to be slowly recovering despite no doctor being able to explain what she's been going
It's
through.
a miracle.
And then he blames the American health system. And then this I find
He's
funny.
bloated?
He goes, I'm really sorry I was boring on the show in October. I felt sick and bloated because I ate fast food and I was slow-witted and not adding much.
Fuck you, Weedy Silly.
I promise I will be on my A game if we work together again. So he's just begging, bro. Like, he's coming up with excuses. But I love how he actually does here just admit that he was boring and slow-witted on the show.
Well,
Because he
drunk.
was. Yes.
You caught him after like a
Holy-
DoorDash binge with like a night full of gin and Hogan's.
There he goes. He goes, I'm reading back again. I'm actually really sorry that I'm so scattered and stressed. I'm not going to quit the politics show. He did quit the politics show.
It was a
I
great
wanna
show.
I want to keep at it, but it's frustrating. It's actually getting so little support, being that I decided to stream it just on Kick. Well, Phil, that was your choice. You could have streamed it on both YouTube and Kick. But
Well,
that's
he
just
thought
an
he was hot
excuse.
shit. That's the best part.
Yeah. He goes, I don't know what happened. I had like 10 consistent supporters there, and now I have like 2. Well, what happened, Phil? Was
Well,
you were
He had a really
boring.
bad take. He had a bad
Yes.
take, plus he was boring. For some
Yeah.
reason, he went after
The
a
food
homeless
bank
shelter.
take? He went after the food bank, Gundam. You know, like
It didn't make sense.
It
Gundam,
didn't make any sense.
I'm not sure if you heard this, but he was in our chat the next day being like, hey, could you guys take off Thursday so I
We
can
have
do my
that.
show?
Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll
Oh.
get there.
I heard that part.
So
Andy was
just remember,
tripping on it.
the highlight of the political show, as Gundam was saying, was his take. So there was a food bank, and what they were saying is, and this is pretty typical for food banks to say, hey, we have enough of these items, like we have enough bread. We would appreciate if people could donate oatmeal, because we don't have enough oatmeal. Phil took this as that the people who went to the food bank were beggars that can't be choosers.
No.
When it was, yes, and
No.
shit on the people going to the food bank. But it wasn't the people at the food
And the
bank
food
that
also
were
had to be
requesting
specifically
luxury food.
holiday themed.
Yes, yes.
Wait, he thought it was the people getting the food, like asking
But
for the
just
food, not
imagine
the
the
people
take
who
that
get it.
beggars can't be choosers from Darksydephil.
Whoa.
Darkseid-
It was
Thing.
just fucking mind-blowing.
That's what makes him the best.
Holy.
He doesn't see himself ever. Like Phil will sit there and rant about someone not changing with the times, and I just smile endlessly like a Cheshire cat. I'm like, go on, Phil. Tell me about how these people don't know how to do anything different and they keep doing the same shit.
You know,
You know.
and he, he says
That's so
that, he says that Void got brainwashed by duty. I love how it has to be
Shout out
that
Void.
if somebody stopped donating to you, it had to be they got brainwashed by the detractors.
Dude, he
and
got
not-
him like Revolver Ocelot and Metal Gear Solid 1 and tortured him like the Dark
Yeah,
Machine.
exactly. In order to somehow magically turn him against him. And it couldn't be either that A, the person is just bored with your shitty content, B, they don't have the money to give at this point in time, or C, they just don't feel like giving you the money. No, it has to be that they were brainwashed.
They were being withholding.
They were withholding. They were withholding support. He goes, I think I somehow need to find a foothold on Kick that isn't your fan base, and I have no idea how to do that.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. That's something he'd never say.
That's fucking sad,
Ooh.
isn't it?
Oops.
I think
I
that
have
was
no
real.
idea. It is real. He has no idea how to do anything. It's like, Phil, do you know what the actual key is? It's not like the goals, the pizza parties, the bag.
The pizza party was great. He had some really good matches.
It's called being entertaining, Phil. If you are consistently entertaining, then you'll get money from your fans. And you'll grow because they'll tell their friends about the show or they'll share the link on social, and then you'll grow, Phil. That's how you do it. You have to actually be good. You have to actually be entertaining.
By the way,
but he put the cart before the horse.
Was it Pizza Hut?
It was actually Papa John's, wasn't it?
Wow.
The Day of Reckoning.
Or was it Domino's? I don't even remember. It was so ridiculous. Okay, and then we have the final one here about health. So it comes back to this is that the rabbit was his child. And he says, we can't have kids. And I said to him, well, Phil, I thought that was a conscious choice on your part not to have kids. And he says, it was a choice until it wasn't. You think you have control of stuff and then you don't. My wife gained a ton of weight out of nowhere.
No.
Couldn't have been the 3 DoorDash meals a day, the lack of going outside.
The midnight snack pizzas.
Yeah, the snack
Gourmet.
pizzas.
Midnight snack pizza,
out of
huh?
nowhere.
How do you not know that, Andy?
I'm
So
learning
listen,
the
this
lore
guy,
as this
he
is going
revealed,
along.
so he,
It's true.
I got him to take pictures of what was in his fridge and freezer. And what was in his freezer is what he claimed is a snack pizza, which was a frozen pizza.
Phil's refrigerator is so full, it could feed a village of Hungarians.
Yeah, no, seriously, man. It was like fucking jam-packed with all this frozen shit, and they were gourmet snack pizzas. Okay?
Mhm. That's
And
the
I
good
said
stuff.
to him, like, I'm a 400-pound man. I'm fat as fuck. And I've never even heard of a fat fucking snack pizza, Phil. Like, holy shit, man.
It's what you have between middle dinner.
Oh,
Well,
so
okay,
so my wife gained a ton of weight out of nowhere and was having crazy serious problems last year. We did a ton of tests and found out it's a combo of her thyroid and ovarian issues. It might very well be, but I just find it funny that every fat person blames it on
That
their
is
thyroid.
thyroid. Yes.
It's always a thyroid issue. It's never calories in, calories out. They defy the laws of physics because of thyroid issues.
You could
And
say
ovarian
calorie
issues.
deficit, and they would go look at you blankly, like, what the fuck do you mean
What's that?
calorie deficit?
Calorie deficit.
It says so. Not only can't we have kids, she's at extremely high risk of getting cancer at
Okay.
any time.
You know,
And
on another level, you think about it. Remember Phil got like workout machines for cat that he kept breaking?
Yeah.
It's all coming together. Yeah, like they couldn't put it together, dude.
No way.
Neither one of them.
They're
Both of them
unable
together.
to build it.
Big. It was so heavy.
Didn't he
Phil couldn't
task rabbit
drag
it?
he couldn't drag it outside, so he had to pay to have movers come his home and take away the workout machine.
No way.
Oh no,
Phil was in
Phil.
bad shape. Those damn
Oh,
workout legs
no.
don't help him.
He's weak.
So apparently she's at extremely high risk of getting cancer at any time. Her ability to process stuff properly is fucked. So she just gains weight like nothing. I don't think this is actually how it works, but he claims that she's lost a lot, like 30 pounds just on diet and hard work. But she fluctuates and it's not fair.
How much
If
does she weigh?
Well, we don't know. But
Ah.
if she were to be on stream with me one week, she may look skinny, but the next week, way bigger. And
Like a
people
funhouse
just
mirror.
shit on her, so we decide against it entirely. There's nothing
That's
in the world that's
not
like
true.
that, where you magically go from fat to thin within a week time span.
She's walking
And
through a fun house.
He's like, I got cat some Ozempic off of AliExpress.
By the way, at this exact moment, Iron Chef Sakai has gifted 25
Let's go.
That's gonna drive Phil nuts. As we're going
Thank
over
you.
his wife being fat and him lying about cancer, his top whale is dropping sub bombs
Whale?
on our show.
Pardon the pun, whale.
Oh man!
All right,
well,
let's get out of that.
holy shit.
Let's get out of this.
All right, so let's go back into the DSP DMs
Okay.
and let's just have a look at some of these.
Okay.
Um,
You don't even know if
okay.
it's worth it or if it's skippable.
So here, this is right after the Steve interview, and he says,
Classic.
I'm not angry. You guys have done a ton for me, and that's why I'm on board here, and I'm not looking to make millions. Today, I made only $150 extra and had to do that shitty podcast. So he's referring to his own podcast as shitty. And
Well, it is.
my wife
right.
my wife got pretty upset at me for doing the interview and basically called me stupid for falling for it. Oh, retard alert! Retard alert!
Boss Gundam.
My only thought is nothing, honestly, God. It's beautiful. It's also sad. The woman who can't figure out how to manage her calories is smarter than Phil. It's a damn shame.
Oh, man.
By the way, it's so
He then
funny.
goes- he
Wait,
then
wait,
goes-
wait, Ash, so it was so funny on stream. We were like, "Oh, we hate Steve, that dastardly bastard."
You
And then-
snaked us, Steve. We'll see you next
See you on Tuesday.
He went wrong, Phil.
Oh man!
We did not know he was going to do this to you.
Okay.
He believed us.
So at a certain point, so Phil here has actually now brainwashed himself
Yes.
into believing that this was a staged interview that he agreed to, when at no point he actually believed, like, actually that never happened. So he goes, I knew it was staged, but it's kind of hard to explain all of that to my wife when she's angry. So I ate shit all day. I think we are going to figure this out long term, and it will work for everyone now that we are being honest with each other. So do you see the cognitive dissonance here?
Yeah,
Of
Kat
this
is actually like aware of the whole thing.
So,
She's
and
like, Phil, you're getting larped on, you fucking idiot. Where's my pizza?
So that-
You're not going to snake me.
that part is amazing in and of itself, but he goes from saying, I knew the interview was staged, to, I think we're going to figure this out, meaning that we didn't agree to it ahead of time and that we still need to figure out what the plan is. And then goes, it will work for everyone now that we are being honest with each other. So this all contradicts the initial part of him saying that he knew it was staged, because his mind is in like some 1984 Big Brother doublethink shit, where he just can't accept the fact that I snaked him with this interview. And so he's actually trying to brainwash himself
Hypnosis.
into all of this. And then
He's
later,
gaslighting himself.
yes, he's gaslighting
It's like what chicks do
himself.
when they date a fucking toxic guy. That's what you are, Andy. like you're cheating on her, you're lying to her, you're leading her astray. You're like, it's okay, honey, put the drugs up your butt. The feds won't check there.
So this is where I'm still trying to get Phil to like do grill Phil, do the humiliation ritual so we can keep milking.
Entertain people.
So I tell Phil, I honestly thought the podcast you did today was great. It was classic how you were able to rally everyone to donate, but I don't want to cause you problems at home, though. That's not cool.
You sound like a toddler talking to a toddler.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
Blue's Clues over there.
That's why the transparency is important. If I'd known that's what it was going to be, I would have told her it wasn't serious. But instead, she heard me talking on the podcast and then found the interview herself.
Stop.
Damn it, Cat. Nobody expected you to not watch Voice Critical this morning.
Holy fuck, dude. So and then he goes on this big
All those
TED talk.
detector videos she probably saw too that break down just how fucking dumb Phil is. And he's
Oh.
sitting there smiling and
Starts
sees
talking to
breaking
me,
all the
he's
trolls.
like, don't let this discourage you from getting married, because overall I'm way happier now than I ever was before. But it's
Wow,
just
that's a massive fucking cult.
it's just a different thing to have to deal with. Knowing the full deal going forward will be very much appreciated and make us more successful.
Well,
I don't know. Apparently,
to be
this is
fair-
the thing you have to do with marriage, is that your wife might find out that you were blown out in a
Fucking
debate. And that you're an
Fair, though.
idiot.
To be fair, his goal went from 50 to 100. So I guess he was like, see, honey, it's working.
It's
Not
working.
And then
Ashton
Oh
Ashton
my
makes him
god.
buy wrestling cards worth like $3,000.
Yes,
like,
he's
Jesus
buying these
Christ.
these out of print wrestling cards, or not out of print, but they've been selling out, so he has to pay inflated prices. Okay, next slide.
You
What else
sold
do we
him
got?
wrestling cards for the
Okay.
price of an RTX 5090? What?
Yeah. So here we have. This is Darksydephil. This is just a sampling of the messages that he put in our kick chat.
It made
It's
me
like,
so mad, dude.
he
I was
really
so
thought
mad,
that,
dude.
He really thought like he was like friends over here and that we enjoyed him being in the chat. He was the most annoying, thirsty, desperate for attention, no life loser in the entire
Begging.
chat. Just
Please,
begging
Andy,
for
please,
attention.
please watch me eat a cheeseburger. And I'm like saying, like, to his face or whatever in chat. I'm like, Bill, we can't watch 43 minutes of you eating Panera Bread.
Every
You
time
gotta be kidding me.
I swear to God,
No!
I
I
swear.
swear. I
Like,
swear.
every day, dude. I swear. Oh my God, I want to die.
He came to your stream to promote his stream,
Yes.
but he specifically
watch
wanted Andy to watch him eat.
Yeah, us to watch it. Either me or me and Ashton on the post show. I
What the
do
fuck
it
did you get out of that?
I would be like, I can't watch you eat. This is okay. One time
Well,
I
and he
watched
wouldn't
it for
even
1
have
minute.
he wouldn't even have the mercy to send us the timestamp. He would just DM us his full
He's incredibly
replay of
busy
like 3.5.
after
Yeah, he's
I'm like,
super
what's the
busy.
timestamp? He goes, the
Oh,
whole
don't worry,
thing's
we're gonna get
entertaining.
into Okay, the one
No
thing
way.
I
I
know
swear
we're
to God,
limited
43
on
minutes.
time. One thing I want to bring up with this, he would come up with what he thought were these pithy one-liners that were the most cringe lines, but he thought he was so funny. These dad jokes. So what I would do is I would read them out and I would go zing,
The
and I
Zing
would call,
King.
and I would call him the Zing King, and he really thought it was funny. It was so obvious that it was cringe and shit.
But I was rolling my
Fucking
eyes on
corrupt.
camera. Like, oh, my God.
Man! All right, just hit play and like let's just look.
What's
at
the video?
This
This is the
yes.
video, okay.
You just kept feeding his insane ego to the point
Yes.
of where he only believed the positive things and ignored any good piece of information, like any real advice you had for him.
Yes. Hang on.
One of these
What is
messages
that?
is it's like someone lit a fart with a lighter. Zing! What a brilliant contribution, Phil. Just hit play on this.
Hang on,
And
resizing
so,
me better.
he sent 707 messages in the
What?
span of a week.
Oh boy. He's like your Derek.
Look!
Wow, he is your Derek.
Buddy.
Look! He really became Derek in our fucking chat. Like, look at this.
Buddy.
Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
No, what are you doing?
Look at this.
Look
All
at
Santa
this.
beard suck ass.
at the
LOL.
one underneath.
Sing.
Dude, he goes, dude, you guys can razz me whenever. And if you really want to destroy me, watch me eating the corn.
We weren't joking. I swear to God. We
No,
weren't.
that's what he's saying. Watch him eat the corn the long way.
This is 1 week. And he did this for like months.
Just hit pause at any random
I
point.
see why Andy likes just unplugged from this.
There we have Phil
I
goes,
went
my
insane.
mom,
Gundam,
my
I
mom
actually went
smoked,
insane.
just out of nowhere, volunteer says, my mom smoked 2 packs a day at one point.
That's not a good sign. Like he was working his mama's nerves.
Yeah, dude.
I wonder why my mom smokes 2 packs a day. Mommy, look at my Legos.
Look at him. He's really excited for our segment. He goes, did someone say nerds on the go?
It's the worst
he's-
segment we do.
It's
It's
our,
the
it's
worst.
our, like slop segment where
Gundam,
it's
it's
to
literally the
torture us.
boring segments, and people donate 100 subs for us to watch it at 0.5 speed.
Look,
And that's
he
just go, ah,
Look
the
at the
whole
very
time.
bottom. He
Yeah.
got too familiar. Good night, Ash. Like, oh,
Oh, good night.
oh,
Oh.
I don't ever remember saying goodnight to a single man in my life.
oh my god. But it's not even my full name. He had like short formed it. Like,
Look at this
oh.
book tipster. Sumo drop from the top turnbuckle. Zing.
Here we go.
Zing. Here we go. Oh my God.
You got him, Phil. Roasted.
Who got this video? Wow, this is amazing. Is this Duty?
Oh my god. No, it's That Being Said podcast.
Oh,
Put
That
this
Being
one
Said.
together.
Respects that being said.
This
Podcast
man,
shout-outs.
like it just keeps going and going and going.
This is a lot.
This is us telling him the merch.
Are we halfway there yet?
About
Oh my god.
holy.
Look at this. Look.
It just keeps going.
It's so fucking long. It's like the credits to Assassin's Creed.
Holy.
buddy. So
Andy,
that's
Andy.
so
Oh,
much.
shit.
There's just no
You're
way
my
to go.
gaming soulmate, Andy.
Yeah, oh, boy, when he said that, like, I don't even know how he didn't know I was done with him. I stopped talking about him. I stopped tweeting about him. I ignored him in chat. And he was, hey,
You're playing hard to get.
yeah, oh, yeah. For him to get my abs. Dude, it was-
Meanwhile, Andy's like messaging Ash, like, do we have an HR department?
look, there are
So-
texts with me and Ash of me being like, please, Ashton, where's the light at the end of the tunnel, please?
Just look at this one. Hey, I hope you liked my appearance tonight. He's so desperate for validation, you know. I was fighting both a bad stomach because I had McDonald's for DSP tries it, and my Ghostbusters costume is only a medium size.
I was talking like Michael Jordan when he had the flu and still
Yeah,
won a
it was like
basketball game.
it was like Phil's flu game. But he says his Ghostbusters costume is only a medium size. It rides up my ass, and it was from 9 years ago, so I forgot. Now wait a minute, Phil. I thought you had lost weight from 9 years ago.
You should have said, King, the people would love to see your ass crack like
Sire, the people demand to see your ass crack, please.
more cheeks for the children.
You know, and he goes, I tried to do my best, but I think some people in your chat found me boring. So I'm sorry for that. Just brutal.
Like, Phil has self-awareness around you.
Yeah, kind of. I think. But what was that stream in particular? Was that the Ralph stream? What the hell was that?
That was like, I don't even remember. I
Or
think
Ghostbusters, right?
We're going to hear about his Ghostbusters.
It's even worse. Okay, so we did what he wanted to do, right? Ashton stayed up all night planning the Ghostbusters, like the Ethan Ralph segment. At 9 p.m., he's like, sorry, I have to go. Wouldn't even do us a favor after we helped him. And then he stayed in our chat for 4 hours.
Yeah, he's like, guys, I have to go.
Why did you
and
leave?
then within 20 minutes, he was in our chat, and we'll see what he does when he ends his stream.
So he lays next to Kat and just talks to you.
And just messages us. Yes, well, he gets drunk. It's like, hey, Ashton, hope you are well. Sorry if I've spammed you with messages or annoyed you this week in some way. I didn't mean to. Things are all good here, and I hope they are on your side.
Pause.
It just makes me
Ashton,
laugh.
This is so fucking gay.
Ashton,
Isn't it?
Gundam, hear this. I'll have to head through my logs, right? But they're so boring. He copied and pasted the exact same message and sent it to me, but changed Ashton to Andy. I'm not kidding. Word for word.
Well, at least he changed the name. That's what I thought he would do.
That's psycho, though. That's psycho.
He needed approval from one of you who delivered.
Oh
Ashton, I didn't reply to that. I was like, fuck this guy.
You're like trying to block him again.
Well, then I just say to him, everything is good. I've just been streaming a lot and falling asleep right after the shows because the only time he'll message you is at like between the hours of 4 and 6 in the morning.
And the weird part of the night.
Yeah. And then he goes, okay, good to hear, man. No problem at all.
That scene on his marriage is fucking dead.
Oh, I know. It's dead as fuck. I just enjoy being friendly with you guys and want to make sure I don't do anything to mess that up. But this is like, holy shit.
You
the
guys are all I have
desperation.
left after Mr. Finkel's died and my wife won't speak to me.
Oh, man.
All right.
It is sheer. You did this to yourself, dude. Like,
I love,
it was
how
a
this
great
is all,
clip.
I love how this is all his master plan, by the way. And he was the Snake King, but he was like, his master plan was to be this like pathetic, needy guy begging for our attention
Beating down
DMs
dog.
and getting fucking made fun of by us and his wife yelling at him and revealing all these embarrassing details. It was his King Snake master
You
plan.
fell into our trap. By the way, okay, I don't think you saw this. Maybe you did. Did
A
you
lot of
see
this
it?
stuff is wild and new to me.
Or did you see when he said the plan, he's the King Snake, to RTU, he's like, have you heard of the King Snake? Did you hear that part or no?
Oh, yes, I saw that part.
And
Okay.
then it turns out the King Snake, how it actually like works, is it emits a foul or odor,
Odor?
to get the fucking...
Predators away. Its last resort is to actually attack. It flees
We're
and
rather
then
far on it.
yes, it emits a pungent odor to get people to leave it alone. Much like Phil, actually.
There we go. One honest idea. You can have it
This
on
is
a
so
full
bad.
roast.
Okay, so it had been about 2 months, and I was just like, let's ignore this guy's DMs. Let's slowly phase him out.
We were
He sucks.
done, yeah.
He's talentless. He's a hack.
And he
He's
somehow wormed his way in.
He's so desperate. He's like, one honest idea. You guys have me on for a full roast, and I take it and respond live. You can be brutal, and if I actually get legit pissed, it would make great content-y.
What the
So-
content? Was he a 23-year-old girl?
When he's drunk, he's like, you'll notice this when he's like shittered. He'll do like typos or it won't make sense. But this guy, he's in his fucking feelings, begging to come on.
He wanted to have a Friars Club roast, but who was going to roast him besides you and Andy? Nobody else
It
was
was
to
just
fuck with
us. Nobody else was going to do it.
Nobody wanted on until
here.
Steve showed up.
Look, listen to what he says here to Andy. He goes, I get what's going on, and I'm in on the joke. Oh,
By the way,
buddy.
I go,
And then
amazing
he
word.
says-
Was that the top 10 racist moments?
I might have been. And, he says that this is legitimately life-changing. It was legitimately life-changing for him to be on our show.
It has been
He's
life-changing.
in on the joke, guys. He's totally in on
Amazing
You
the
guys
work.
made Phil crazier. That's what you did.
Oh,
Amazing
man.
work. You sat there and took it from us. Good job, buddy.
Oh. Okay, so he's teasing me with this idea all day. I wish I actually kept this part in. I shouldn't have
This
cut
was
it
a
out.
gem.
But essentially, what he says to me is, he's like, I've got this idea. I've got this really good idea. I go, what's the idea? He's like, I'll tell you later. You won't believe I have this great idea. So he goes,
Why not tell you now?
I know. But so then he starts telling me this at 1 a.m. He goes,
Oh.
The Ghostbusters idea. I hope you like it. So he goes, Ethan Ralph is so dumb that my detractors baited him with a fake Twitter account. So he started talking shit about me, and you guys showed me a bit of him. So I randomly tweeted out Ethan Ralph on my timeline. I'm basically getting a written pre-stream. You see what's happening here? This is basically a written level 1 podcast. Not only did the tweet get crazy attention, my detractors convinced him to respond in a drug-induced video that made no sense.
It was bad.
Which
It
is
was
typical
bad.
Ralph.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, is this guy is now Phil's new co-host for the wrestling show is Ralph. So I
can't wait.
Oh my
I can't
god.
wait.
He goes, that made no sense. I responded to that too. Da, 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 da. So he goes, so here's his idea. After all of that nonsense that was completely irrelevant. So I think we can do a whole show or special around him. We can play it off like you guys are scientific experts on this kind of disturbance from the sector.
Oh, God.
But I'm just an outsider who knows nothing. And we can turn it into Ghostbusters, but call it Guntbusters. And make it like Ralph is the Slimer ghost from the movie.
Oh my
I
God.
even have a Ghostbusters costume from Halloween like 9 years ago I could wear. And I bought a prop PKE meter from the movies. I think like these are the ideas that he would come up with.
We did not do that, by the way. We just and then he left. And then he left after we got. Oh my god, I was so pissed.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Okay.
let's see-
This
okay.
is the crazy thing.
Is this to me?
Holy fuck, man. This is to you.
Oh,
He
buddy,
goes,
this is early
"Hey, man,
on. Oh my god.
So I have some confusing and bad news about kick streaming. I'd like to share with you before I talk with my audience about it
Oh, wait,
tomorrow. I'm
Gundam,
shocked.
are you there still?
Oh,
Oh,
IPDN.
We might have lost him. Don't worry. Don't worry. He'll be in back in a second. It
But
happens.
this is crazy. So I'm thinking, I'm like, Andy, like, what happened with Kick? Like, did Phil reveal it was like, did he uncover it was some sort of scam or there's something wrong with it? Like, we were actually worried based on what Phil said. I have some confusing and bad news. I'm like, fuck, is it shutting down? Like, we really like this site. Of course not. So what Phil writes to us, let me just have a quick look here. Okay, you're just letting Gundam know
I'll
that
let
he
him
cut
know.
out.
Yeah. He'll be in. Don't worry. He's probably
Well, actually,
thing.
let's take this opportunity before we go into this next set of
Sure.
DMs.
Yes.
Let's do some shout outs here. We got Nose Goblin for a sub, Digital 717 for 5 subs, Beer League Done Badly for a sub, Baron Wife Karen Life Real for 10 subs as well. Let's get some
So
subs.
I've made like a million new
And then-
scenes today. It's been tough, but I've been doing
Some
it.
super chats came in.
Read them. Yeah, perfect time.
DSP Historical Society for $15. Pig Roach and Rage Pig sitting in a stream. BEGGING. And then we got Killbot for 20. This whole end of the Phil Casino arc has been like the gorilla episode of Kenny versus Spenny. Casino goes full animal while Phil phones it in and tries to match it. He can't match the casino there. Then we've got South of the Border for $20. Phil and Ralph is going to be hilarious, especially when the revenge porn and dialysis super chats come in and Ralph loses his temper on the show. Now, there's so much opportunity for that to go so fucking amazing. It's going to be so good, bro. I'm so hyped for the Phil Ralph crossover. I'm so here for it.
By the way,
it's the dream.
Ashton, the DMs were so cringy that it hard crashed into Gundam's PC.
No!
He's restarting now. He'll be back in a minute.
And we got Wacky Shucks for 10 subs.
Let's
and
go.
Kino Pool Boy for 25 subs. Let's
What the
go.
fuck?
Get it.
Yo, I just told him that.
Get it.
I just told him that your computer couldn't handle the cringe. Like, your computer's like unplug.
It's terrible what Phil is doing to me.
Yeah. If you want
Ever
to turn
since
on
making
your
DSP videos,
your
my
animation.
PC rebels against him.
yeah. Just turn on your camera when you want about the VTuber. You have to turn that thing on or whatever. But yeah, it's all good.
So this one's
So
crazy,
Kino, bro.
Gundam.
So Kino.
So we convinced Phil that he should come to Kick to stream because we're on Kick. You know, they're nowhere near as censorship-like as YouTube is. They allow for a lot more. Plus, there's a 95.5 cut on subscriptions, whereas YouTube takes 30% and all this stuff. So we convinced Phil to go over to Kick or whatever. Well, Phil, like a week into streaming on Kick, sends this. Kick just denied me verification, but I exceeded all of their criteria, and they don't give an answer why.
By the way,
In fact,
I don't work for Kick. Guys, just so you all know, I do not work for Kick. I am not an employee, a moderator, or anything. Okay?
No.
So I don't
This
know
is-
why
this
he's
is-
DMing
it's
me
like,
this.
You
by the
know,
way.
but he DM'd me this exact same copy-paste message as well.
Yeah.
In fact, their denial notice says they won't respond if you ask why, but you can reapply in 14 days. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm very heated right now. I busted my ass figuring out dual streaming thing, and this is a complete insult. All of my viewers knew I was applying, and now I have to tell them I got rejected, which is a fucking huge celebration for my detractors. So now I have no idea what to do.
By the way,
Gundam,
I was
thoughts
live.
on that?
I was live doing a post show, watching shit with the other co-host, Psycho, and I'm like, hang on, let me just fucking, because he's like having a mental breakdown. I'm like, oh my god, this was the first thing that actually made me go, I don't want to work with him. Remember, Ashton? I'm like, the next day, I'm like, I can't handle this.
This was beyond. This was insane.
You got to understand, this is Darksydephil. He's a massive deal. He was 4th place in Evo back in '94.
Yeah.
All right. This
Yeah,
guy
okay.
is on the front page of YouTube with Linus Tech Tips. He's a legend. He's the greatest. He changed the FGC. He changed game. He created Let's Plays. I mean, I want you guys to let that sink in. This dude inspired PewDiePie. His list of accomplishments are endless. So how could they not verify this genius?
Just listen to this insanity. Like, he's heated. Like, he feels like he's entitled to
Yeah. Oh, he's
verification
a
on Kick.
king.
Who the fuck does he think he is? It's crazy. But then, like, this message is just on. There's so many layers to it that's insane. I busted my ass figuring out dual streaming. It's restream.io.
Breaking labor.
Phil, you just put the stream keys into the sites. Like, Phil.
I had to write a tutorial for him. I had to write
Oh my God.
a point form tutorial.
Holy fuck. And then
It was like he was a coal miner
and
in
he
the
says
content
that
mines.
this is a complete insult. An insult to not be verified within a week when you
Mhm.
only had like 50 live viewers on the platform.
And then, yo,
And by the way, you were still on YouTube, so it's not like you exclusively came here. And then this is the part that drives me the most insane. All my viewers know I was applying. Whose fault is that, Phil? It's your fault for telling them, Phil.
Yeah.
Why would you tell them? And now I have to tell them I got rejected. Why do you have to tell them you got rejected? Why does he act this way? And then he goes, which is a huge celebration for my detractors. Who cares? Who cares if they celebrate you not getting your verification? How does this affect you in any real way, sir?
On some level, he knows that the detractors are his true viewer base.
Yes,
No.
yes. By the
I
way,
mean, without them, Phil would have been done by now.
yeah,
Like the guy
exactly.
you're
But
watching earlier.
I tried to convince him of this and say that we need to pander the content to the people who are actually watching, which is the detractors.
The
And that-
detractors do free work for Phil. When you think about it, they go through all of the
Yes.
stuff he does, and they pick out the pieces of corn. You know, they go out there to like miners. You know, the miners back in the day when it was so hard to find a little bit of gold dust. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Then they curate it, they chop it up, they make it funny, they make it interesting. He should thank the detractors.
Shouldn't he?
For free.
By the way, here's me
Holy-
troubleshooting. Do you
It's
have
not
enough
like this
individual?
type of PR.
Listen to this one, though, that he said, Andy.
I'm like, do you have enough individual chatters? Because I'm like, no, he doesn't. There is no
Andy's
way.
tech support.
I am the tech support of the fucking show. Basically.
So, you
Go
know,
ahead.
he then goes, I hit every single criteria and applied today as soon as I did. Well, maybe you want to be exceeding it a bit more than just barely meeting it. It doesn't look sketchy.
no.
But then I asked them why I got denied, and they said they don't need to tell me why. This is exactly what happened with Twitch in 2021,
Big,
man.
Bring up Twitch.
I'm so tired of being treated like this and bullied. How is it being bullied to not get the verification badge, Phil?
Wait,
He goes,
That's
I'm
what
not.
you gotta do.
He goes, I'm not angry at you guys at all. Why would you be? Why would you be angry at us? We're not the ones who denied you. You fucking
Wait,
douchebag.
guys,
All the strings he needed.
guys, I just saw something really funny that actually proves I didn't care and wasn't paying
why?
attention. So he tells me he spoke to Kick and they said that, we're not going to tell you why. Ashton, read my DM right after.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sure there is a reason, or maybe someone wasn't checking or something.
I completely didn't listen to him at
Dude,
all.
you sound like a YouTube partner manager.
Listen to this guy,
Listen
man.
to him.
He was just totally drunk. I'm just angry that once again I'm the guy who works hard and gets crushed for no fucking. He really believes that it's working hard to play video games every day.
I'm a piece of shit.
Like I just don't know.
Phil, like, the thing he does is amazing is how he sucks his own dick professionally all day, every day. He's his biggest hype man. Then you came in and added an extra voice to all of the ones in his head telling him he's great, and he went clean over the fucking edge.
Oh yeah.
Look at this.
I mean,
I wrote
look how
Kick a
crazy
na-
this is.
I said I wrote Kick a nasty email and then
Bro,
closed
what?
it before I sent it. I never did any of that shit. I was like, how
No,
did
I think that's Phil, isn't it?
Oh, that was him. Okay, I don't even
No,
remember that.
listen.
Okay, it was him.
This guy, he goes,
Oh,
I also DM'd
Okay, I thought I
Ashton.
lied again.
And I
lied a
know
lot.
he has to get out of that crazy Shrek costume. He goes, I won't say anything at all tomorrow. I'll ignore it and just try to carry on. Like he's carrying the cross to Golgotha or some
What a
shit like this.
burden.
Like,
I lied so much to him that I don't even remember
oh my
what
god.
I said. What me reading this is like me reading it for the first time
listen,
too.
Listen to like the
I'm not
spurt
kidding.
shit here of Phil. I wrote Kick a nasty email, but just closed it before I sent it. Like, just
You
think
really
about
showed
how
them,
crazy-
Phil?
What would it be? Kick's loss to miss out on your 70 live viewers, sir?
Yes.
Like
yes.
this is such mental illness, Phil.
It's
this,
15 years
this,
legacy,
this
Ashton.
to me, honestly, this to me was actually the craziest interaction we ever had with the guy. Beyond the underwear, the socks, the cancer, everything.
Andy
This is,
shirtless.
you know, he goes, I'm calming down now. You're calming down now.
Why is he even telling you?
I'm still getting paid, so I don't actually know what I'm angry about.
Oh my
Besides being treated badly for no reason.
I was live,
you-
by the way,
but
folks.
you
I was
think-
live.
He goes, but you think I'd be used to that by now? I've made bank on Kick, so I won't stop co-streaming. That would be stupid. Sorry to bother you. I was upset in the moment.
This dude is like spazzing out over nothing burgers, bro.
This
I kind of
is
wish you two
220,
paid him.
man.
I wish you two paid him the attention they paid me, because he'd lose his fucking channel in a heartbeat. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Holy shit. Look at Phil. He's
To
like,
me.
I have had tonsillitis really bad before from overworking myself. I
Oh,
have
man.
something I'd like to talk about when you get a chance. It's actually about Ashton and sadly my detractors.
What?
Tonsillitis is a black lung for streamers.
Ash and I had plans for a few interesting things, going notably Halloween and a wrestling show, but now he almost never responds to me when I DM him.
Oh,
My detractors have been bombarding me with messages in chat saying he is shit talking me, and I've ignored all of them. I just want to make sure everything is cool between all of us. Any normal person would take the hint at that point that I didn't want to be bombarded every day with his messages.
You look at
If-
my
Unless it's a really hot chick you can't get over.
Yes.
It's
just-
Ash. Look at my fucking reply. Nash, bro, you're awesome. Dude.
Nash, bro, you're awesome, dude.
It's just me, like, quickly.
This guy's writing fucking essays. Listen to this. This is so
That's
pathetic,
game
though.
seven.
Like,
Go ahead.
and if it's not, and I've overstayed my welcome, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate all
Oh
you
my
guys did
God.
for me. I won't forget it, and I'll always have your backs. Meanwhile, this is
Oh.
all apparently his King Snake master plan. But I also know I'm a boring dude because I'm not cut out for drama. I'd love to do some co-op gaming with you sometime. I know it would be very fun. Anyway, have a good night, and I do hope this is all BS from my detractors and not real. Phil, you know right well I'm not responding to you, Phil. So it is real that I'm not responding to you, Phil. And guess what? Yes, I was shit-talking you on the show. Want to know why, Phil? It's because you fucking suck. But he just couldn't get the hint. It just kept going the guilt trip sessions.
The fact that Andy wrote Nash, bro, you're awesome, and Phil didn't even catch that literally Andy mistakenly replied. The wrong person.
Oh,
No,
man.
no, it was me
What?
writing nah, bro.
Oh.
But it's me just like,
You
like
just
not
misspelled
even,
it 'cause
not
you
even
just
looking at my
didn't
phone.
finish.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Let's game
Okay.
shit. What did he say here? to
Hey,
me? I
hey,
remember.
Andy, we locked in a time, and I can't wait. I haven't played zombies in many years, but I remember how it goes, and I'm excited. I also want to say thank you for your kindness towards me. You have helped my family so much in ways you couldn't even imagine. Life isn't perfect, but because you and Ash gave me a chance and were nice to me, it has literally changed my life. I don't take that lightly. And I know there's no way I can ever repay you guys. So all I can say is thank you so much. He must have been drunk off his fucking ass.
I see why
I'm
Phil
like,
leaked the
yeah,
DM.
dude. This is me was it October, November? It was after December. I just stopped. I was like, I can't.
Well,
pretend
Ethan
to
Ralph's
be nice.
wonky hand nails it in check. Goes,
I was trying to be nice.
this is a disturbing level of attachment from the moderate amount of attention that you gave him, isn't
I
it?
see why Phil like leaked the DMs and said it was all a joke because this makes him look so fucking lame.
Oh, it does.
Like lamer than we all ever thought he was.
I barely DM'd him ever. He even says that in his like expose. He's like, me and Andy barely, and he's like, I love you, thank you. I'm like, thanks, man. Yeah, you're awesome. Bye. Like,
I'm telling you, Andy was a chick.
okay, here we go.
This is only happened to me with a beautiful woman.
So what is actually relevant about these DMs are the last DM. So here it is. Hey, so I'm going to start doing a once a week Kick exclusive late stream about politics.
Stop.
Just announced it today on my podcast. However, I do not want it to take place at the same time as your show and split our audiences in any way. So I wanted to run it by you and ask if you know which days in the coming week you guys will be streaming. For your information, I'm sending the same message to both of you so you both know.
I did not reply. Or did I? I don't remember.
He says our audiences.
Yeah, man. If you lost those 70 viewers, it would have ended.
That's what I'm saying. So what this really is Phil saying, hey, I want to steal your audience and your viewers' money from you guys. And what I want you guys to do is schedule your show around my show, even though you're like 10, 20 times bigger than I am, in order for me to make money. Is that acceptable, bro? Like, this is crazy. Who the fuck does this guy think that he is?
And that was when, see, 11,
He's the king.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, 11/6/24. The official, that message was the end. That was like to me, I'm not going to even pretend anymore.
And I don't think either of us ever responded to him about this.
Of course. And then he went in our chat the next day or like 2 days
Because
after.
Phil has the answer. You cannot leave him on red, you motherfuckers.
Well, he wrote that in our chat.
Man.
And I'm
that's
like,
the thing,
we don't
it's
talk
like,
business in chat.
We left him on red because this was the most delusional and insane thing that we had yet heard from him, especially after the Kick stuff. So then he starts going into our chat to publicly pressure us into agreeing to this shit.
Disgusting.
Holy fuck. So this one's interesting. This is during the Josh interview. So one of the conditions of doing the interview with Josh is that Phil said that he wants to do the interview. He goes, I'll be honest with you. I want to do it when my wife isn't home. Because
Good choice.
Yeah, he's been treated incredibly awful by Kiwi Farms. She will not want to be here when I'm trying to have a reasonable conversation with Josh, and she's working daytime Monday through Thursday. Hence, my day streams on those days would work perfectly. I had forgotten that her work schedule changed this week, and she's going to be home all day Saturday and Sunday. Sorry for being difficult about this. I know this week has sucked and has been stressful enough as it is with movie cancer. Trying to schedule anything with Phil was so difficult because you're going to streamers who are magnitudes of order more popular than Phil.
You, Mudahar, and a bunch of
Josh Moon,
Josh
all
Moon.
sorts of people. And you're telling those people that they have to schedule themselves around Phil.
You must accommodate the chosen
That
one.
they must accommodate the chosen King Phil, who's so mighty and so powerful. And it was just crazy. And it would be constantly changing, and Phil wouldn't know if he wanted to do it, didn't want to do it, would put all these conditions on it, and it was just crazy. But here we have Phil's like, just can't even do this debate or this interview with his wife in the house. He's scared that she'll give him shit.
She'll overhear him being an idiot.
Holy, okay.
It's a very profitable crossover. You sound like a fucking ad.
So
Ashton sounds like an ad.
No, seriously, I was just shilling to him like insane,
You sound
telling
like
him anything and everything.
ChatGPT. Write me an ad to convince DSP.
Okay.
I bet Chappie
So-
GPT knows who he is.
Just for those of you who don't know, but
I checked on Wednesday.
I'm pretty sure
I fucking
everybody
knew it.
is aware of this character. His name is Derek, and he was a Phil viewer for years and years.
Derek
Now,
is such a wild animal that you guys couldn't possibly
You know
comprehend.
what, Gundam, give us the Derek lore.
One day I wanted to find out what was this Derek about, who's always in DSP stream. So
Hmm.
I go onto his Twitter page. It was the worst mistake I had ever made.
Oh, no.
Have you ever heard of rainbow blowjobs?
No.
No.
I know, it's definitely interesting. So me being a precocious little scamp, I decided to see what Derek was looking at. It's about getting these porn girls to drink colored water or juice. And then can I say throat effing them? I don't know how far I can go here.
Girl
You say
fucking-
anything.
You can say anything. you want.
They're getting throat fucked into the next millennium. And they start vomiting colors on the dude's dick. And Derek is writing back,
What?
I absolutely loved your throat gagging, Stacy Keebler. It made me hot.
No.
Then he'd be talking to wrestlers. Happy birthday, John Cena. I can't see you now. So I fall down the rabbit hole of Derek. Before I know it, I'm stalking him on Cherry Pimps with my assistant, waiting for him to show up to streams and harass streamers until he starts crying in chat.
What? Okay.
He got banned for Cherry Pimps too.
It
What's
turns out,
Cherry Pimps?
and
It's a campsite where you see girls hold themselves open and stuff giant dildos in their orifices, while Derek screams, "Can you say my name?"
No.
yes, Derek would beg these porn stars to say his name, interact with him, and he'd send messages like, just jerked off to your latest video. Stuff like that, like just the most
Oh
autistic
my
and crazy
God.
stuff.
One girl committed suicide, and Derek was on her timeline saying, "I'm so sorry you're dead. You had one of my favorite scenes ever."
Stop.
That is just like mental illness and autism and, you know, shady kind of gooner stuff, right? And that's not enough. Like, it's pretty bad. But where it crosses the line is on this guy's YouTube channel, he had a playlist called like Sexy Girls. and it was videos of little kids playing in playgrounds.
What the fuck?
And he had, and this is when I knew, like, this guy had to go, and me and Josh told Phil he had to go. I saw this. I'm like, the guy has a playlist of hundreds of videos of kids playing in playgrounds called "Sexy Girls."
8-year-olds?
So, yeah, like,
Oh my god.
and so it was
The
Josh
wall.
actually that brought this up in the interview, and I knew it was going to come up, and I looked into it, and I'm like, yeah, this is fucked. So me and Josh kind of went into this knowing we were going to press Phil about it, and we told him, listen, this guy's a pedophile, and you got to ban him, or we can't be associated with you in any way. The guy
And then Phil
actually
protects Derek.
Yes, the guy actually defended Derek more than he defended his wife from me calling her fat.
Stop.
That's
Well,
what's
you gotta-
crazy.
You got to put in perspective. Derek has always praised Phil. I think Kat's done praising Phil.
Yeah, I think she's probably not very happy with how things are going.
I'd
And
say so.
This guy actually pressed back against us, and I think it took us about 20 minutes of having to twist this guy's arm to finally get him to ban this dirty, disgusting pedophile. And he messaged me, I banned Derek live on my stream. It's sad, man.
It's sad.
Why would it be sad
After
to
everything
ban a pedophile from your chat?
After everything that you told him, I had no idea what the fuck was happening, right? But I was already like fucking out of this shit. But that's fucked. And he's saying it's sad?
Yeah.
Derek
And this
deserves a
motherfucker-
bullet.
This motherfucker called me a dirty pervert. And
Well,
he
you
hangs out
are.
with Derek. Listen.
I mean, listen.
Well, maybe.
No.
It's all right. We got Goonsky over here, too.
Shut
You know?
the fuck,
All
VRC.
right. All right. Let's go.
I tried to be on board. It's not that good.
Okay. Oh, my God. Look at this autism about this fucking Ghostbusters shit.
I hope you like it.
Oh my God, I don't know. He says he can make Ghostbusters jokes and references all day, and it totally feeds into your Halloween. Just go to the next slide. We have
Okay,
limited time.
that's-
This
You're
is
like, I
too
don't
much
even wanna follow.
furthery.
I got
Okay,
them.
so this is where I gaslight him into doing the calf thing. So Phil goes, why are my calves such a big deal? This is hilarious. I said, you're like Calfzilla, the calf king. They are just jelly of your mad
golden
gains,
calf.
bro.
Wait, pause.
If
You
you-
said jelly? And he believed you.
Yes, yes.
You said jelly.
They are just jelly of your mad gains.
This is
If
embarrassing.
you say stuff like that and emphasize how jacked your calves are and how superhuman your calves are, they will lose their minds. I said, you should lean all the way in and do a Rick Rude gimmick for your calves every show. What the ladies want to see and the men want to be. It's the king's calves. He started
That might have
doing-
actually been funny if he did it.
I know it would have been. I had good ideas, honestly.
Like he hikes up his pants like a woman on the side of the
fuck.
road.
So he goes, LOL, that's funny as fuck. He goes, I know it's a joke, but what is up with all these autistic fucks obsessing over the smallest minutia? I guess I have to lean into every little thing. Now I have a topic for tomorrow. He should be grateful. He should be grateful that they even care. Anyway.
You know, when he did his politics show, he
oh.
should have gone down to the food place and told them how they were wrong and live streamed it. It would have been huge.
Oh,
Okay.
bro, this is where
So this
wants
is
to kill him.
this is just another one that was just crazy. So I messaged Phil, not knowing, by the way, because I never looked at his schedule, not knowing it was the holy day off, not knowing that it was the Sabbath day where Lord Philip must rest by doing 4 hours of grocery shopping. So I said to him, I think we have an interesting opportunity here. Jay is willing to blow the whistle on Review Tech and reveal all sorts of receipts. We could do a huge show. We also have the girl who Rich cheated on his wife with who wants to do a tell-all.
On Lolcow Live.
Yeah, the idea is we would broadcast it all together on Lolcow Live, but it would be Monday at 3:30 your time. I say I'm not too happy with how fast Keem tries to move
Which
things
he
through.
does. He was trying to
Yeah,
push it fast.
he was trying to like push it, and I knew that wouldn't really work for Phil, but I figured, okay,
Yeah.
let's see if we give him like 3 days notice, surely. But I go, it could be big for everyone. Honestly, we should talk about this. Maybe stall them, say Monday is too short notice and you need more time, but let's do this. Well, here comes Phil's response.
By the way, and remember this, we've done favor after favor. Everything was our idea. We were fucking taking flack by pretending to be his friend from detractors.
But you
So
know
we were like doing
you
everything
notice
to
my
get this
experience here,
anything.
though, is I have to tell like that we have to stall in like Monday, which is 3 days from then, is too short notice because
Exactly,
I know
you need 2
because I
weeks.
know how Phil is. You have to have 3 or 4 board meetings about it. Every single idea had to have multiple board meetings, arguments back and forth. He would have objections. I would have to overcome them. It was so fucking exhausting. Listen to the shit that he fucking lays on my table. Look at this shit. For your information, it's my day off,
Piece
and
of
I'm
shit.
not even home right now, so I can't even intelligently respond. But yeah, Monday is bad for me. I just changed my schedule to have Saturdays off every week. So now my React days, which I'm obligated to do because people pay to submit the vids, is Monday. Also, I'd want to know the time commitment because, to be honest, my viewers are quite tired with Review Tech drama. I've talked to him about him a few times last week, and I got little to no response, with my regulars asking me to move on. I'm questioning what positive impact this would have for me.
With us,
Me.
though. We fucking helped this guy so much.
you
It took
know?
flack for him and fucking we had to like pretend to like him.
Holy
Like him,
shit.
get shit on, and we're trying to be as sarcastic as possible so people got what we were doing. And then he replies with this shit. Fuck him. You're a piece of shit, Phil.
And
Fuck you.
He goes, I'm not saying I'm out. I'm just saying it has to make sense. He wants to do it at 3 p.m. my time, which means sacrificing an entire day of content. I get how this would benefit him and you guys, but likely not me. And it's just like, Phil, why does it always have to benefit you? Do you know that if you help other people and you do things that benefit other people, it might also benefit you? But how it would benefit you, Phil, is being on a show that would have had 7, 8, 9, 10,000 live viewers with the combined audience of Kino, Casino, and Lolcow Live, where they might see you in a different light, where you're having fun, you're dunking on people, and but no. This is what we got. This is how we were treated by Phil. It was actually insane.
How can Phil dunk on anybody? Like, he has nothing interesting to say ever.
I know.
Like, he's not going to come in there and go, so you blew Rich. Did you do it in his wife's bed? You know, something like that. That's not Phil.
Exactly.
He just stands there like this.
That's the thing RepairBot says. For him, it's like being part of good content isn't the goal. Because it's not. He doesn't care that people would enjoy it and they would like the content and it would be a big event. That doesn't matter to him. The audience matters not at all, unless they're giving him money. So after everything we did for him, it was like, what can you do for me?
There's something I want to bring up too and point out. If you can't reply that minute, that day, reply the next day. Take 2 days. Hey, when I messaged you to Gundam, if you replied the next day, I wouldn't be like, what the fuck? Why is he replying?
And he's been trying to guilt trip.
And he disappeared for days.
Huh?
He's just trying to treat me like a piece of shit and be like, how dare you?
Yeah, see, but you don't get mad. I don't get mad when people reply to me immediately. I understand. Sometimes I don't check Twitter. Sometimes you aren't on Twitter. Sometimes we have families, friends, things to do. Phil, don't get mad at me. I didn't know. I didn't go, you better reply now or I'll kill you.
Well, Phil is terminally online.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He's got nothing else, which is sad.
But it was his day off. What are you doing on your day off? You can't reply to a DM on your day off. And actually, Monday, I've switched my schedule. Well, how about this? Switch your schedule again because your channel gets 200 viewers and this is 8,000 viewers. You fucking F-slur, bitch.
There's nobody else that acts like this. Ever. I've ever encountered, and I've been doing this for 5 years. Andy's been doing this for 15 years, and we've never seen anything like this. There's nobody else that's like this. Nobody else is this difficult to schedule. Like, it's crazy.
Great. That's why we all pay attention to him. He's like some weird animal, some creature you can't quite figure out, but you tune in anyway. It's like my 600-pound life, my child with autism.
It's just a freak show. The thing is, you can't understand that this is a freak show. It's not meaningful, positive. This is a freak show where people come to point and laugh at his autism.
It's like Truman Show with autism.
Yes, and I tried to get him to understand that, to embrace that, and to try and find a way to monetize that.
You wanted him to see himself. That's where you fucked up.
And he just couldn't handle it.
You know what's crazy too? So we can't schedule with him. He has fucking 200 viewers max, right? With you, 900,000 subs, easy as pie. With Mudahar, 2.5 million. Oh, when do you want to Tuesday? Let's go. Hey, fucking Josh Boone, owner of. Hey, yeah, I'll be on the fucking stream. That's fine. Everyone with millions of subs, come on. Andy Dick, we got Andy Dick on the same 2 days notice.
Well, let's be real here. Andy Dick fell off.
Well, yeah, I know, but at least he was somebody. You know, he was somebody.
Alex Stein messages me. Hey, you want to work? Like, and then this guy with 100 fucking viewers is going actually Tuesday at 6 p.m.
You know, Mr. Mediker. You know, I mean, okay, let's go to the next one. We got to try and finish these DMs because I know.
And Gundam, if you have to go at any point, just let us know. We do fucking 5.
I'll stick around as long as possible. I slept 4 hours and I started smoking way too much, which is a bad idea.
Fucking go.
So basically, one thing I wanted to point out here is that Phil basically agrees with me here that he's going to eliminate gameplay from his streams. Says, first of all,
DSP gaming. What?
I completely agree with you on gameplay. Games are not what they used to be. They are mostly the same shit with no innovation. It's so
rare. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you, but remember that game company that used DSP's gaming to design God of War? They're not what they used to be because they're catering to this asshole.
I have it in Classic Phil. Don't worry. I have it in the Classic Phil folder, guys. I got all of that fucking the best stuff for later. Yes, that was funny. I've never seen that until today, by the way.
He says people tune in at first to see the game, but they never stick around because nothing is worth sticking around for. But wouldn't your personality and your commentary, regardless of the game, cause people to tune in, Phil?
Bro, we only show up for Phil's fault. We show up for the podcast because we know he might do something unhinged. You're just waiting for that crazy shoe to drop. The only person who still locks in for gameplay is Tevin, and that shit is slowly killing his soul. It's a damn shame. Big ups, Tevin.
By the way, if you don't know, what he's talking about is the reason yellow paint exists in games. You know, yellow paint to lead you.
The annoying stuff. Yeah.
It's because of Phil, and I got the evidence to prove. They blur out his face, but you can hear his voice.
He hears voice, you see his fat body. No concession.
Holy fuck, man.
Okay.
This is just, let's just look at the sort of messages that I would get. Holy fuck, man. All right, just move to the next one. You can see it's just massive.
He's just crying about everyone felting it.
Bro, I might need to get a copy of this to read it at night.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So here's one where it's just honestly, when this guy told me, so I did a grill Phil where Phil told me I have no friends. I have no family that I ever see. I don't leave my house except for maybe once a week.
Only my rabbit lobby and he died.
I wasn't able to go on a honeymoon with my wife because of the detractors, and I haven't been on a trip and all this stuff. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, let's get this guy out of the house. I'd like to see what Phil is like in real life. So I said, hey, Phil, when was the last time you got to go on a vacation or trip? I said, I know this might be beyond your comfort zone, because obviously everything is, but I said, Hulk Hogan has a bar in Tampa Bay. You notice like the thought I put into this? Because I know he's obsessed with Hulk Hogan. He spends all the money on WWE champions trying to get Hogan polls and all this stuff. So he has a bar called Hogan's Hangout. For the Super Bowl.
And Hulk Hogan is a massive liar. It all makes sense.
I told Phil several times he was Hogan. And I said, it doesn't matter. Like I said to him, Hogan's a liar just like you, Phil. Anyway, so I say with a bunch of other wrestlers, and I said, I think I'm going to fly down for the event and rent a table there. I want to offer to pay for your flight and hotel if you want to come down for the weekend and we could drink and hang out and film a video at the bar or something to make it a tax write-off or whatever. I know that's kind of crazy, but I think it would be nice for you to go do something fun and maybe meet Hogan. It is on short notice, which, by the way, like the notice was a month, but something to think about anyway. I'm serious about it. Just don't say anything online about it. He says, well, first off, thanks very much for the offer. Like, this is like me being a genuine person, and I get like this pre-stream bullshit spat at me. My last actual trip and time off was April of 2019.
Who asked?
Who writes
You need the
this
backstory.
Yeah, when I flew back
Yeah,
to the East
Lord.
Coast of the USA to get married and spend time with my parents and new wife. Since then, it just hasn't been possible because I went through the bankruptcy and financially it hasn't been feasible. Now, with how things are going, the possibility of having a honeymoon might actually happen. Da-da-da-da. As for your offer, if this were 10 years ago and I was single...
10 years ago?
Wait, hold on.
He was in better shape 10 years ago, Andy. Keep up.
What does you being single have to do with any of this?
Because he's
You
going
know
to
what
post
I'm
chicks.
saying? This is crazy, Phil. Like, you know... And like,
Hashtag pussy wizard.
I would literally be there in a heartbeat. I did shit like that on a whim and made tons of videos and money off of it back in the day. Only I was the one paying the way for all my friends to go to conventions, WrestleMania,
So
etc. because I was a big YouTuber. And I had money to blow, and man, did I blow it.
What is this, a
But
fucking diary?
Oh, I
You're
know.
getting your own private pre-stream podcast every time you message
It
him.
was my own private fucking pre-stream every time. But as for today, I am very much tied down and rooted here in Washington.
I'm a married man.
I couldn't in good conscience leave my wife behind to go party for a weekend. Why not? Everybody does this.
I
Like,
think Pat would welcome that shit.
and leave her with the house and pets when I was never able to give her the honeymoon she well deserves someday.
What the
And to
fuck?
be honest, her health is improving and we are making big progress in that area. But all Phil had to say to me was, I don't feel comfortable accepting this trip. You know what I mean? That's all he had to
Or
say.
just say, nah, not down. That's it.
You know, you know, whatever. But he wrote me this insane. So even if I were 100% there for business and not pleasure, I'd still have to decline for now.
The next slide?
You know, go back. What? Bring it back. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I'd still have
It's
to
like reading
decline.
the Torah.
I know. So as for the trip, if you want, I would pay for Kat to come out too, Phil, and we could set up Jasper with a sitter, but no pressure. I know it's a lot for you at this point with the health issues and stuff. I just really would like to get you guys out of the house and doing something so the detractors can suck cock forever. I hope we can get this wrestling show going. He goes,
I really want you to touch the grass out here.
That's what it was. I'm like, listen, can you please touch grass, sir? Is there any way? And he goes, I totally appreciate your invite and offer. It's not possible now, but maybe in the future. I got tired of squinting at my phone to watch wrestling. So I bought myself a Samsung tablet that's coming tomorrow.
Wait, what?
So
That's awesome, Phil.
What about TV?
he-
What about
he-
Cat's medical expenses?
He couldn't put it on the TV. I don't know. He would just waste money on the tablet.
Wait.
And then he justified the tablet as in he could watch wrestling on it. And he could
Uh-huh.
also write notes on the tablet
Why does he need to write notes?
about wrestling because he couldn't remember what happened. But my whole thing is, why don't you watch it on the TV and type on your laptop? The
That might
notes?
be one of those women that demand you lay down with them when they go to bed.
Oh
I've dated a chick like
my
that.
God.
That's a nightmare. Same. That's a nightmare.
So Phil is trying to get
Games.
outside simulation any way he can.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm having a mental
So listen
breakdown.
to this one. He goes, I ordered a lot of socks and they are showing up during the show so I can try them on. I know
That
that's
happened?
stupid. Yes. But my new camera, the current meme I have working for the show, so we can lean into it for fun.
Wait, the socks? Did you
And
explain
then
how
he
the
goes,
sock convo
he goes,
started?
I can show you my shitty socks with holes in them.
Let's see the
not,
socks.
I'm not lying.
Ooh.
I wear shit until it wears out.
He's like
My
Scrooge
older
McDuck.
underwear have holes.
No.
And then he says, I don't give a shit. I never put any thought into it.
No.
It's like my calves thing from months ago.
Gundam,
Bro,
you're
he's
wrong.
literally like-
He's not Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge didn't have fucking holes in his fucking jacket, whatever the fuck.
He had like those shoes that had his feet and toes out, like Phil.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
It makes no
What-
sense. He's like,
Holy
I bought a Samsung tablet, but I'm wearing holy underwear. My dick keeps falling out and Cat is crying.
This was his idea for content that he brought to the show was his shitty socks and underwear.
No, his shoes
Look
are
how
fine.
broke I am,
Oh, I
Detractor.
never even noticed that before. They're like sandals or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, there's some weird
The
things.
Scrooge McDuck lore, guys. All right. Where we
And then we go to the next one. And so I go, people go wild for this shit, Phil. Like, just gassing him up about it.
At
That's
least
what I
select
saw.
the dirty underwear.
Socks.
And he goes, I just picked up a pair of my old socks and boxers and immediately found holes. Jesus.
Bro,
What the
you should have. I wish you guys let me in on this because I'd have been like Ashton, get him to take his dirty like socks or whatever and sniff them on camera for money.
You know what? We could have probably got him to do it.
Like
I
he'll
think
smell his own smegma.
Oh my God, man.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Ashton here. Amazing stuff for the show.
Stuff.
Amazing stuff for show and tell tomorrow. He
That's-
claims, he goes, I have a bunch of new socks arriving during the show tomorrow. It'll be perfect. It'll
You're
be
lucky it's
perfect.
not illegal to gaslight an idiot. You do hard time.
Oh my God, man.
You get the death penalty.
So, okay, I asked Phil this because I'm like, what do we do with this guy? Like, he's not passionate about anything. He's not interested in anything. He doesn't have any hobbies. He doesn't, So I'm like, Phil, I want you to answer this honestly. If you could do anything on live stream and money wasn't a consideration, what would you be happiest doing? What sort of show? And he goes, wow, that's honestly a question I never even thought about.
Why?
Because I've never really had that opportunity. All of my
But you can
time,
still fantasize.
yes, all of my time on a stream has to be used wisely.
What? That's a lie. It's a fucking lie. He wastes his time. He wastes the audience's time. He wastes the cat's time.
It's basically like asking Phil, how would you feel if you didn't have breakfast this morning? He's like, but I did have breakfast this morning. It's basically
You're like
the same.
talking to the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
If I only
so-
had a brain.
So finally, he's like, so I thought about this a bit today. First, I'm pretty upset that outside of my direct core fan base, nobody takes me seriously.
That's not the fucking question.
He goes, I used to have a lot of clout back in the day.
Oh my God, a history lesson.
And even spoke up about laws that were in the process of being passed in the USA.
Here we go, soap
That
on
would
people
be-
again.
Yes,
Yeah, everyone, yeah.
That would be harmful to gamers or people who like
It only got
internet
100K
culture.
views.
Yeah, he goes, I was able to get hundreds of thousands of views on videos about those topics.
Yeah, if you're
I
looking at the numbers in a kaleidoscope, you fucker.
He goes, I just wish that today I could chime in on a topic on a show that I know I could add value to. I have a huge wealth of knowledge about content creation, YouTube streaming, and that lifestyle and grind. But literally nobody has ever asked me about it because I was branded as a living joke meme in locale. I
You
think
see why Andy pulled out.
Yes,
You
dude.
know,
This is
You
terrible.
see why, like, even you're smoking weed and you're like getting angry. Like, stop
Bro,
chilling
my
out.
buzz is ruined.
holy
It's ruined
fuck.
your buzz.
No,
Fuck this guy, I'm with Andy.
he goes, you guys could really add insight and help people if people would just shut the fuck up about thinking I'm a clown and listen to me for a few minutes about some of these topics. Some of this stuff comes through on my podcast, but I don't really get attention there. Then he says, I also absolutely love some kind of games, notably RPGs, but I can almost never get people to tune into those kind of streams.
Damn you, Suikoden.
I think Metaphor was the best RPG of 2024,
Oh, yeah.
but I played the demo for 12 hours and couldn't get good views or support,
Pause.
so I dropped the idea of playing the
Pause.
full game.
Metaphor. The demo took me 3 hours. What do you mean 12 hours?
He rushes through the games.
No. I took 3 hours. Everyone took 3 hours for the demo. It took him 12 hours to beat the demo?
Wait, that's the demo, not the full game?
The demo.
No, yes.
Oh, damn.
But this is the thing is he gives up immediately on stuff.
12
and it
hours?
doesn't matter. Oh my god.
That's like playing Super Mario World for fucking 55 hours.
Okay, get ready for this. He goes, lastly, and I know this one is crazy, but what if I and others, like a group of YouTubers together, investigated haunted sites? Like think of a ghost hunter show, but it's me as a skeptic, an overacting retard who is actually scared of everything, and a team of techs who actually monitor stuff, like a cast of characters. And I
Hold
love
on.
how go ahead.
Is he like pitching you the story for Scare PewDiePie, but it's starring Phil?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. But this is what I love how in Phil's vision of this, like he's the suave, swashbuckling leader of the ghost hunters, and he has like a bunch of retards. Like, you know, it's like okay.
Where you gonna
Phil,
get this number to Phil? You gotta get Beetlejuice in there, some shit.
well, we have Warski, but no, just
No.
we got
You guys
Casino,
have Beetlejuice,
Foster,
I'm the
Five
resident
Sub.
part, don't worry. But hear this. Apparently, he didn't even finish the demo in 12 hours.
How though?
I actually don't even know how. I actually thought like that's legally impossible unless
He's
he
a
just
game journalist.
Well, he basically is. Okay. And he says it would have worked well if it came together, but I never made enough money to really get it off the ground. And then he says, my final idea was to actually rent a real professional office space to set up full studios and tech rooms and have a yeah, this is like these are like Phil's ideas and have a group of creators share it with me. And we would not only make content, but film and stream all the behind the scenes stuff. But then groups actually did that, like the Creatures and Game Grumps, and they had huge success, but then fell apart. So I'm kind of happy I never went that route.
If that worked, you would have been rich, number one.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I gotta
That
take a
was insane.
Tylenol soon.
I think we're almost through all this shit, to be honest with you. Oh my god. Okay, this is where I had to teach Phil what a VPN was.
Oh.
So so Gundam. This
Me and Andy
man,
had the same reaction at the same time.
It's like, we're like, wait, what the VP? Go ahead.
this man refused to use like a pirate site to watch wrestling.
Mhm.
And like so for him, he's like, they made it impossible to watch SmackDown without cable because it's still on USA Network and a Peacock in 30 days. So finally, I just go, just use a Canadian VPN for Netflix. It's pretty easy. You just sign up for NordVPN, then you select
Are they
Canada,
sponsored by us here?
Not
and then
sponsored, no.
open. I chose
You never say
that.
that, Gundam.
I chose that because it's the most idiot-proof one. It's the one that's constantly advertised, and if you tell him something that he hasn't heard of, he won't do it. He'll be confused.
Okay,
like,
gotcha.
Maybe I'll try it.
So you're
then
Todd
he goes-
Card whispering.
He goes, got it, and it works. Now I
Oh.
can gift 1,000 YouTube memberships for $2 by saying I'm Argentinian. I'm like, huge, because I'm like, this is huge. We got Phil to learn the VPN. Then,
Yeah.
this is my favorite part. Phil goes, I'm having fun changing locations and seeing crazy ads show up for other languages for shit I couldn't buy if I wanted to.
A child.
Uh-huh.
He's a child.
He's getting entertained by the different ads for like Turkey and South Korea and all this shit.
By the way, Gundam,
Right, like, I wonder what those Chinese are doing.
Oh man.
Gundam,
it's
you should have
so
seen his reaction.
hard.
So when I
You
was
guys,
talking to him,
you saw it live?
no. I said, I was like, oh, pirate it. And I sent him like a list of like pirating to watch wrestling sites. And I swear he acted like I sent him like how to buy drugs in the deep web.
This is no, he
He's
really
like, don't send this to me,
Retard
Andy. I'm
alert.
like, oh, sorry. Like,
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
I apologize.
And then I'm like, there's lots of cool stuff you can do with it, Phil. You know, like this here, Phil confirms he reads Kiwi Farms.
Oh,
I just
well,
read
that's
Kiwi
obvious.
Farms. They think I'm upset. You guys are ghosting me. All right, let's go to the next one. I just laugh
Yeah,
at that, you know.
Alright.
Okay, listen to this. He goes, I'm literally still working. My wife is asleep next to me, and I'm
Oh, boy.
watching entitling vids and posting. It's the
Yeah.
life I live. Haha.
Oh,
No,
my.
oh my
He's
god.
in the coal mines.
This guy is sitting next, sleeping. His wife's sleeping next to him in bed, and he's watching Kino Casino, and he's in our chat, and he's DMing us all at the same time. Well, he's got his fucking bottle of gin next to him.
Oh,
Well, he's not banging that wife, so.
It was just wild.
what the
and
fuck
then-
is this?
Okay, look at this. He sends us.
This was Phil upgrading
He's
his stuff
like-
because you guys inspired him.
He's like, listen, he goes, I am now at 231 and I felt everyone. Yes, you have rubbed off on me and I love it. I'm back and
boy.
I'm not afraid to just be myself, although I can't say the shit I used to.
Okay.
Who's he felting?
I don't know, man. He was
I-
pelting the detractors, but he's like, you guys,
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.